Tonight on CTV News, it's an election special. We wrap up the Christchurch campaigns and celebrate 121 years of women's suffrage. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. It has been a messy election campaign. Dirty politics accusations have shadowed Prime Minister John Key and the National Party. Kim.com's moment of truth through further accusations of spying at the Prime Minister. However, despite all the negative campaigning, the National Party is still polling well. In Christchurch, nothing is certain, however, and the traditionally left-leaning city is currently split with just as many National MPs as Labour MPs. Will that all change tomorrow? Earlier in the week, we quizzed Christchurch's Western residents if they knew who they were going to vote for. Today we spoke to those people living in the Hardhead East. Have they made up their minds, and have they already voted?
So you voted?
Yes, I have.
Yes, definitely.
I haven't. I'll be voting tomorrow, and yes, I do know who I'm going to vote for.
I'm voting for God's Kingdom. So I'll not be casting a vote for any of the local parties.
Yeah, but I have voted. I voted a couple of days ago.
I have voted. I voted about a week ago.
Yes. This started. I actually don't know quite who to vote for. It's such a tricky business.
I think the party that can help this area out to develop and really develop really good would be the party to vote for.
Oh, I don't know about Brighton. I think it's getting to be a bit of a dead loss.
With hundreds of red-zoned houses and disgruntled residents, Labour is hoping it can hold onto the Port Hills electorate.
Ruth Dyson is a long-serving Member of Parliament and is the current MP for the Port Hills electorate. With more than 20 years of experience in politics, surely she's a shoo-in this Saturday. Well, since 1999 she's held the seat continuously. This is despite her electorate boundaries changing from Banks Peninsula to the Port Hills 15 years ago. Now she's facing another boundary change. The Port Hills electorate is losing several left-leaning suburbs, which could mean that her political career is facing an uncertain future. Despite being Labour's Canterbury earthquake recovery spokesperson, the ministerial role has been promised to Clayton Cosgrove. Ruth Dyson has also dropped in the list rankings from 5th place in 2011 to 34th place, and now following her own request, she's not even on the list. That means Ruth will need to hold on to her electorate if she is to remain in Parliament. At the 2011 general election, National won the party vote, but the Port Hills was one of the worst affected electorates when the Canterbury earthquakes hit. Several hundred homes were red zoned, and residents have expressed their dissatisfaction for the National government. This means that the fight for this seat may be very competitive come polling day. National candidate Nuk Karako wants to be the MP for Port Hills, but does he have a chance? He says he has the backing of the business community.
I talk to a lot of businesses across the Port Hills. One thing that they always say, thank God for the National government in the fact that they assisted our business throughout the emergency.
Compared to Wigram's feisty debate, the Port Hills MP seemed rather mild. The electorate already has 3 MPs, however Green Party MP Eugenie Sage and New Zealand First MP Dennis O'Rourke are high on the party list and are only seeking the party vote. Speaking of Dennis, he came out swinging in the debate when the topic switched to the earthquake recovery.
We need to ensure urgent action for the remaining red zone Port Hills. We think that's a disgrace it's taken so long. And finally, with regard to people who had bare land or uninsured land, the offer of 50% of the 2007 valuation is the grossest injustice I have ever seen.
Sitting MP Ruth Dyson was naturally critical of National's earthquake recovery.
The recovery overall has been very slow, it's been very messy. The Minister has not been a leader, he's been like a bulldozer. I resent one of our heritage buildings being demolished to widen a road when it could have been repaired and we could have had the magnificent, majestic theatre back again. I think that was a mistake and it was done with no engagement with the people.
National's candidate reiterated that the government has committed more than $15 billion to the $40 billion rebuild. He says progress is underway, which riled up New Zealand First's Dennis O'Rourke.
Things are starting though. I mean, all the underground, all the horizontal infrastructure and all that.
What about the people on the Port Hills who
I live on the Port Hills. I live on the Port Hills. I'm one of those people.
What about those people who still can't get into their homes, who still can't do anything with their sections.
Okay,
more than 3.5 years later.
But can I just say,
and they're still out of their homes.
really
That's disgraceful.
disagree with what's being said here tonight, because I don't know where you guys have been. But just travel around
been at home.
and then look, that's right. So come out of home and go and have a look at the great things that are happening in the CBD. Talk to people. Talk to a lot of people. Talk to the 80-odd thousand people have actually been done that. So
we listen to people.
Look,
we have them in our offices.
And they will tell you.
You haven't, obviously.
Yes, I have.
You haven't heard anyone, or you would know what the problems were.
I'm one of the people who have been affected.
And so am I.
Yeah, well, I know.
We've all been affected. You're not special.
That argument only finished when Green List MP Eugenie Sage had an opportunity to speak.
I think the National Government has been a bulldozer and Jerry's been driving the bulldozer. If Green Party is part of government, we would give the city back to the people by restoring democracy. We'd hold elections for ECAN next year. We would make the City Council and the people of Christchurch at the centre of decision making.
So who will you choose to represent your electorate this Saturday? Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Devastated in the 2011 earthquakes, the safe Labour seat of Christchurch East is unlikely to change hands at tomorrow's general election.
The Christchurch East electorate. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee summed it up this time last year after National failed to sway the voters during the electorate's by-election, in which Labour claimed to win. David Cunliffe pronounced the start of a movement to the left.
What's he saying? Whip-de-doo. We won a seat that we've held since 1922.
That's 92 years of the electorate staying in Labour's hands, and with hundreds of homeowners in the eastern electorate red-zoned, residents are disgruntled with the government. So what happened when the candidates came together for a televised debate on CTV? National candidate Joanne Hayes started by defending the slow progress at fixing the horizontal infrastructure.
355,000 kilometres of roading so far, 94 bridges. We're working very hard. Yes, sometimes we'll make a mistake, but we learn from our mistakes and we will carry on.
Labour MP Puru Williams says it's time to go back to the drawing board and revisit some of the government's decisions.
Roads are being torn up to put in one line of service and then they're patched over and then they're torn up again. There is a real lack of coordination that I think we really need to deal with.
Green List MP Mojo Mathers has a similar view. She says the Green Party wants the council to have more control over the rebuild.
That they can postpone the Anchor project to a later date and prioritise the rebuilding of the road and infrastructure and suburban recreational facilities and so on, so that people can get on with their lives.
Conservative Party candidate Leighton Baker wants to prioritise building new roads.
We need the bypass that comes off the Northern Motorway and diverts onto Johns Road. That has to be sorted out to ease the traffic flows. We need to get the road down through QE2 widened and get the traffic flowing there just to get people moving down those main arterials to and from work more quickly.
Labour's Puru Williams says the process of handling insurance claims should be re-looked at.
Looked after
you were
and
there
taken
at that
care
event a couple of weeks ago in South New Brighton when a certain facilitator of our meeting said to those folk out in the audience, how many of you still have EQC issues? And there was at least a dozen hands that went up. So this is not an insignificant issue.
Oh no, I totally agree, and there's a lot more to come. As I said, 58,000 EQC applications have already been processed, and we're working through making sure that we get to address everybody's issues.
Will a new candidate claim the electorate, or will Puru Williams hold on to her seat? All will be revealed tomorrow night. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Well, coming up, Suffrage Day was celebrated in the city.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park. Potholes. To some, a simple hole in the ground, causing no harm and no concern. But don't let that fool you. Potholes are dangerous. Did you know potholes have been linked to numerous nasty falls and flat tires? So if you have a pothole situation on your property, don't panic. Call the Pothole Repair Company. They'll fix your potholes in a jiffy. So next time you see a pothole on your driveway or in your car park, call the Pothole Repair Company.
Pestral has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestral rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestral.co.nz.
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimari Roads.
One person has died in a car crash on a rural road near Timaru this afternoon. The driver struck a parked vehicle at roadworks on Beaconsfield Road shortly after 12 p.m. midday today. No other vehicles were involved. The road's been cordoned off and the serious crash investigation team is investigating. No details of the driver will be released until next of kin have been informed. The death has been referred to the coroner. It's 121 years today since New Zealand women won the right to vote. Joelle Bautista with the story.
Fighting for our freedom, for change, for the New Zealand woman's right to have a say. Canterbury and Kate Shepherd led the way 121 years ago, and today we remember the work she did, the opportunity she fought for, and the day of success, the 19th of September 1893. The day New Zealand women were granted the right to vote when the Governor gave his approval to the Electoral Bill, 11 days after it was passed in Parliament. More than 30 people gathered today in Christchurch at the Kate Shepherd Memorial, laying white camellias, the symbol of women's suffrage. The memorial depicts Kate Shepherd, Miri Te Tai Mangakahia, along with other leading suffragists, a legacy of women who fought for our freedom to choose.
It is really important because although we've lost a lot of our buildings, it is really the people of the city that matter. And so we must tell and retell the stories of those ones that inspire us, you know, that have shown extreme leadership, not by themselves, but, you know, in collaboration, of course, with others in Christchurch and throughout New Zealand.
Leah Devoch says it's important that the younger generation of women know their history through the retelling of stories.
And I think by retelling the stories, we not only remember them, but we also are given new energy and courage and are inspired by them to continue in our journey towards equality, not only for women, but for everyone, social justice and democracy.
The memorial was funded and organised by a small committee of Christchurch women, an idea that began with former Mayor Lady Judith Hay in 1989. It was officially opened on the 100th anniversary in 1993. Annette Harris is one of the original committee women. She spoke to us today about what it's like standing here more than 20 years later.
Very emotional, actually, looking at the wall and remembering the amount of work and commitment that went into it actually in its present state.
Annette laughs and says it took 15 times to get the wording for the memorial right. There's also a time capsule of memories behind the memorial, a memento of history they hope future generations will find in hundreds of years to come.
But we were very, very proud, and we were very proud proud when Jenny Shipley approached us, then the Minister of Women's Affairs, to ask us if we would allow it to be acknowledged as one of the national memorials in New Zealand. And we were very happy to do that.
More than 31,000 signatures were collected during a 7-year campaign that gave our right for freedom. Joel Batista, CTV News.
Christchurch's colourful graffiti house is nothing more than splinters.
It was destined for demolition before the very first spray can hit the walls. An earthquake-damaged home sprayed with graffiti art by some of Christchurch's top artists. After 40,000 people visited the home, it was supposed to be demolished the following week. However, it's more than a month after its demolition date, and the diggers have only just moved in. Over the past 4 weeks, the art-stained walls have featured in a music video, as well as a horror movie. Homeowner Ren Bauer is now looking to paint other houses around the city. They will all be temporary projects, up for a matter of days or weeks before they're knocked down.
The future of Christchurch's former public trust building is still unknown.
A central city building behind steel fences, still with an undecided fate. Last November, Christchurch businessman Ben Goff applied for a Section 38 notice from the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority. His aim, to demolish Christchurch's former public trust building, but Sarah denied the application. Not meeting the criteria under earthquake legislation means to demolish the heritage-listed Oxford Terrace building, another application will have to be made. Business Taylor Space Investments would have to apply through the standard resource consent process. Taylor Space General Manager Glenn Taylor told the press investigations into building options were continuing. Glenn Taylor said a soft strip out inside the building was taking place. The General Manager says this is normal for buildings in this damaged state. It's about making this building as safe as possible whilst options are considered. Detailed engineering assessments will take place and the information used to help weigh up the decision. The New Zealand Heritage Places Trust and other Christchurch heritage advocates want to see the building retained.
A memorial of the 9/11 Twin Towers collapse will be removed tomorrow while a bridge is repaired. The Twisted Steel Girders Memorial at the Firefighters Reserve has stood on the corner of Kilmore and Madras Streets for 11 years. Skirt's Fletcher team is currently repairing the Kilmore and Madras Street bridges, which are directly next to the memorial. The memorial itself will be stored for the next 3 months on the Oxford Terrace Baptist Church site. Well, still to come, a preview of the weekend's sport and your weather.
Come in and meet the locals at the Bush Inn Centre. Whether it's to grab a coffee on the go or to catch up with a friend over lunch or dinner, the Bush Inn Centre is the perfect place. With our unique range of shops, you'll find everything you're looking for and more. Our friendly locals are always happy to help. We have plenty of parking at the Bush Inn Centre, making your shopping experience just a little bit easier. So come in, meet the locals and shop Bush Inn. You'll find us on the corner of Riccarton and Waimari Roads.
Pestral has the latest technology that repels rats and mice and even helps control cockroaches. Covers walls, ceilings and open spaces. Combines electromagnetic, ultrasonic and ionic technologies. Harmless to pets and people, just plug it in. Order your Pestral rodent-free today. Now $149.90 plus courier. Order within 20 minutes and get it courier free. Call 0800 88 88 44 or go to pestral.co.nz.
Come on down to Ferrymead Golf. Care for a game of paintball? How about some swings on the old driving range? Or on our par 3 9-hole golf course? Test your skills on the mini golf course or have a go at the airgun shooting range. Then relax at the Wow Cafe with one of our super succulent Wow Burgers. Whether you want to perfect your swing or are looking for a fun family day out, come down to Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference More Mobility makes.
Potholes. To some, a simple hole in the ground, causing no harm and no concern. But don't let that fool you. Potholes are dangerous. Did you know potholes have been linked to numerous nasty falls and flat tires? So if you have a pothole situation on your property, don't panic. Call the Pothole Repair Company. They'll fix your potholes in a jiffy. So next time you see a pothole on your driveway or in your car park, call the Pothole Repair Company.
There were lots of smiles at a local Christchurch primary school today as well-known netballer Irene van Dyke paid a visit.
Throwing a ball around, having some fun at South New Brighton School. For these kids, this isn't an ordinary lunchtime. Silver Fern netballer Irene van Dyke is coming to teach these eager netballers a few tricks.
Oh, they absolutely loved it. Yes, there's 4 or 5 teams here, and yes, the kids got quite into it, and I think I taught them a few new drills, so which is always a good thing.
Principal John Bockett says these students simply couldn't wait for the visit.
Oh, stunning. They've really been looking forward to this. Our kids here are very sport orientated. They love their sport and they love the Silver Ferns, and Irene's always a big favourite. Yeah. No, she's great. She was fantastic with the kids. You can tell with her teaching background.
Still recovering from the Christchurch earthquakes, the principal says although numbers have grown, the enrolment figures are still not what they were before the quakes.
When we opened, we had gone from a roll of about 512 on a day to about 185. So people just disappeared and moved all around the country.
One of the first primary schools to reopen in the east, it was about recovering what they had left.
So we had to try and work out ways where we could try and keep track of where people were and also see if they're okay.
Irene van Dyke gave the children new netball kits, from balls to drink bottles to brand new bibs. Excited to be part of lifting their spirits.
To actually see how broken the place still really is, so I think it is fantastic, and I think it is these schools and these kids and these parents that needs a break, and yeah, I think the kids enjoy things like this.
And although you can see smiles and laughter from every corner of this playground, John Bockett says for many of these eastern families, life is still in recovery mode.
Normally this time of the year we'd be about 530 odd, so we're 473 I think it is. So we're getting there, But there's still families here still going through huge issues, the normal ones with insurance. And I just enrolled a family here the other day and I was really amazed. They'd moved 17 times, own their own house, but since the earthquake they've had 17 moves.
Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Now let's preview the weekend's sporting activities with Tyler Nering.
Canterbury look to continue their unbeaten start to this season's ITM Cup tonight when they take on Counties Manukau. Scott Robertson has made 3 changes to the side that defeated Wellington last week, with 2 of those coming in the front row. Siate Tokolahi will start in the number 1 jersey, while Cody Taylor gets the start at hooker. The only other change to the starting 15 is at wing, with Johnny McNichol returning from injury. On the bench, Dominic Bird looks set to make his first appearance in this season's campaign as he returns from a toe injury sustained in the Super Rugby final. Kickoff is at 7:35 tonight from Ecolite Stadium in Auckland. To the National Rugby League competition now, where the Canterbury Bulls will also be looking to continue an unbeaten start of their own. Fresh from a bye last weekend, the Bulls will be looking to continue where they left off last time out when they defeated defending champs, the Akarana Falcons. The next test for the Bulls comes tomorrow when they take on the Wellington Orcas at Hornby's Denton Oval. Kickoff for that game is at 2:30. The final round of the Mainland Rally Championship gets underway tomorrow with the Spring Rally based around Geraldine's Cockahoo Forest. With the event being the last on the Mainland Series, many local drivers will be pushing for valuable points as they look for class victories. The main attraction for tomorrow's rally will be local boy Hayden Padden, who will swap last weekend's World Rally Championship round in Australia for his own backyard as he competes in a BDA escort, which is sure to act as a crowd pleaser. The event consists of 6 stages starting at 11:30 tomorrow, with the first car expected to finish around 3:45. Spectator maps will be available from the ceremonial start in Geraldine. I'm Tyler Nearing for CTV Sport.
Time now to check out the weather around Canterbury.
Kia ora everybody. Well, that northerly airflow over Canterbury brought mild, fine weather today. Let's take a look at the temperatures. South Canterbury, Timaru 17 degrees down there for you today. Temuka and Geraldine both on 16 degrees. Ashburton 17 degrees down your way. Methven was on 17 degrees. Rakaia also on 17 degrees today. Dartfield 17 degrees for you, Leeston and Rolleston on 18 degrees. Lincoln also had a high of 18 degrees today, and Christchurch had a warm day on 18 degrees. And over in Akaroa, taking out the high for Friday on 19 degrees. Looking out north of the Waimakariri River, Kaipoi, Rangiora and Amberley all had a lovely 18 degrees for Friday. And further inland, Culverden and Hamner Springs both were on 16 degrees today and 16 degrees in Cheviot. And up along the east coast, our friends in Kaikoura received a high of 18 degrees. Let's take a close look at the weather for the weekend. Timaru, fine at first, but cloud increasing during the afternoon and some showers developing with cooler southwesterlies. Tonight's low gets down to 5 degrees, tomorrow's high 13 degrees. A fine Saturday ahead for Ashburton, with westerlies dying out, but colder southwesterlies will bring showers in the late afternoon. Tonight's low 5 degrees, tomorrow's high 14 degrees. In the Garden City, mostly fine for Saturday with pleasant temperatures and westerly winds, but look out for evening showers with colder southwesterlies. Tonight's low 5 degrees, tomorrow's high 15 degrees. Further along in Kaikoura, mostly fine and sunny with cloud increasing during the day and westerly winds dying out. Tonight's low 5 degrees, tomorrow's high 15 degrees. The rest of Canterbury can expect moderate temperatures with some cloud and a few showers. Let's find out what those temperatures are for Saturday. Temuka and Geraldine a high of 13 degrees tomorrow with 5 overnight. Methven and Dartfield can expect 14 degrees and a low of 5 degrees overnight. 13 degrees is expected out in Rakaia. Leeston, Rolleston and Lincoln can expect 5 degrees overnight with a high of 14 degrees for Saturday. Over in Akaroa, 14 degrees is your high. And out north, a cloudy day for Kaipoi, Rangiora and Amberley, all on 14 degrees. Culverden, Hamner Springs and Cheviot, 13 degrees for you tomorrow with 5 degrees overnight. Looking ahead for Canterbury, some showers at first on Sunday, but quickly clearing and weather becoming fine with a mix of sunny periods and some cloud. Cold with southwesterly winds dying out and northerlies developing late in the day. Mostly cloudy on Monday with a period of fresh, cold southwesterlies. A few scattered light showers are possible, but probably remaining dry. Mostly fine and sunny with scattered high cloud from Tuesday to Thursday. Winds mostly moderate northeasterly but may tend moderate westerly at times, and you can look forward to pleasant temperatures. That's your weather update for Friday. Have a lovely evening.
Well, tomorrow is election day. Many of you, of course, know about the election because over 500,000 New Zealanders have already cast their vote. If you haven't already voted, consider this. There are many countries around the world where citizens don't have a say in who runs their countries. We're one of the lucky ones. We do. Make your vote count. Do be sure to vote. That's CTV News for Friday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.